Well, hello there. Welcome to another episode of Hearing Him First. These are a collection of short videos that are designed to help you hear Him, hear God first. And the goal is that you would train your ears and your mind and your heart to hear the voice of God, the loudest and the clearest of all voices. And so generally, these are short, like 5 to 7 minute videos, and they typically follow a reading plan that we use at my church here, Glenwood Wesleyan Church in Sioux Falls. And we've got little journals that are put together that have a reading plan that carries us through the New Testament every year and the Old Testament every 4 years. So the summer months are devoted to the Old Testament, and I got things started off this year with Genesis. And so we've been working our way through Genesis, and I wanted to share with you just a devotional kind of thought from Genesis chapter 24 that fits with our theme of hearing Him first, and maybe in a little different, context or a different character anyway. Much of the narrative that takes place in the book of Genesis centers around the patriarchs, as they're known: Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, Judah, some of the big characters, the big names throughout the book of Genesis. And this one, from Genesis chapter 24, verses 26 and 27, has to do with Abraham's senior servant, we're told. We don't actually get his name, but we know his title, we know his role in Abraham's house. And just to kind of catch you up on the story here, he gets sent by Abraham to Abraham's brother, his wife's brother, where they can find a wife for Isaac. I got distracted with whether or not it was Abraham's or his wife's. I'm pretty sure it's actually Abraham's brother to his father's household. And this was common, that people would not marry outside of their tribe, so to speak. And so that's where we kind of pick up the story. The servant makes it there and finds a warm welcome and is pretty sure he's going to have a successful journey. So that's where we pick up in verse 26. Then the man bowed down and worshiped the Lord, saying, "Praise be to the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, who has not abandoned his kindness and faithfulness to my master. As for me, the Lord has led me on the journey to the house of my master's relatives." And so what really stood out to me was the faith of Abraham's servant in this passage, and we see that in other places as well if you read the surrounding chapters. And there's a number of thoughts that accompany that for me. First is that Abraham must have lived out his faith well. He must have led his whole household spiritually and didn't just have a merely private or personal faith. So that stands out to me. Second, it seems like God is showing that He is a very personal and relational God, not only to Abraham, but also to Abraham's servant as well. And third, I think an example is set here for us as servants of Christ, that we would humbly and faithfully follow Christ, but also that we would be quick to offer praise when things go well, when our service to Him is blessed. And so I had a couple of takeaways for myself. First, continue to lead my whole family in a deep spiritual way that would engender and cultivate a deep faith in those who follow me, whether that's my children, my wife, other people who look to me for leadership in their lives as a pastor, to make sure that I'm living that out in a real and authentic way. The other big takeaway is to make sure that I follow this humble and faithful servant's example in my own service to Christ, praising Him quickly for every success. So that's my takeaways. Maybe you have others. Maybe something else stands out to you from this story. If so, I'd love to hear that. Make a comment below, whether you're watching this on Facebook or you're watching it on YouTube. If you want to catch more of these videos, the easiest way to find them is to go out to YouTube and search for Hearing Him First. It comes up as the first option, and go ahead and click subscribe to that so that you never miss one, and then you can go back and look through them. There's actually 44 of these now, so there's quite a few, and some of them are even broken up into playlists and categories, so you can work through that. If you haven't already done so, check out the What's True About You playlist on the Hearing Him First YouTube page. That's probably my favorite 4 or 5 videos that we've done of this whole thing. So God bless you. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you always hear Him first.